Social Justice Goblin, welcome to the backyard! Oh god, this Bailey Light thing is stupid now. It wasn't funny to begin with. And we passed the rules of 3. Alright, so... when I say Mexican wrestling and not Lucha Libra, which, honestly, the correct terminology for Mexican wrestling is Lucha Libre. But Mexican wrestling, but being old and it was introduced to me in the early 90s by the internet, and I was socialized to call it Mexican wrestling. So I was like, ooh. So I realized what I was doing, and I was like, because here's the thing. I could course correct and just say I'm just going to call it Lucha Libre, but in all my honesty, I still have to distinguish that style as Mexican wrestling, and not the Mexican wrestling that I knew in the internet days, because they don't do the whole little person, big person kind of thing. I haven't seen that when I saw Lucha Libre. So there are changes, and it's not, it's hard to pin down what is what. And by the way, I'm going to sit and put this out there. Jim Cornette, it's little people, and it was exploitive. And yes, we should celebrate the little people and their contributions and be made into heroes of white vision and pioneers that they were, and let them talk about their experiences. Seriously? So that they can be honest and genuine? That's a community that we, as wrestling fans, hurt immensely. Just saying. So, at least I know that's not part of Lucha Libre, so I was like, okay. But here's the thing, and where I make this distinction. So, when I saw Lucha Libre, it was around 2006 to 2008 when I had moved to Texas. And what I saw in that Lucha Libre video that WWE put out was on the WWE network. That was Lucha Libre. That's what I thought Lucha Libre was. But here's the problem. Because I know Lucha Libre evolves. Because it evolved from what it was known in the 90s for to something different by 2007. So, it's evolved. And I have not seen Lucha Libre. I mean, I have suspicions because I saw an Exadio video still out, so that means the old guard, because, I haven't seen modern Lucha Libre to say that this is Lucha Libre, and the only Lucha Libre I've seen is Lucha Underground, and that's a very dark style, almost like it has some influences from the dark times in Mexican history recently. And I'm like, that's a turnoff for me, and I'm like, so I haven't taken the time to watch Lucha Libre. And so to admit and honestly be true about the evolution that does happen in Lucha Libre, because Lucha Libre culture has evolved outside of wrestling in America. It has become part of pop culture. People wear wrestling masks all the time. There's wrestling mask superheroes. So, it's a delicate thing to work with. so as to not offend Lucha Libre fans of both stripes, I took and decided to say it's Mexican wrestling. Because it's Mexican style wrestling. And you can be a non-Latino and be an expert in Mexican style wrestling. Mexican wrestling. I just shortened it to Mexican wrestling. Chris Benoit is a master in it. Vampiro. I mean, these are guys that can work Canada, the US, and Mexico. 3 different markets. And, you know, you got to remember, there are different wrestling styles out there. So I call it Mexican, not Lucha Libre style, or Lucha Libre for short, because both of those cultures would get offended. See how this kind of works? You've got to balance the offend to the offensive and figure out what is the best. Because the honest truth is, there is no way I cannot offend someone. It's just that. Some people don't like me, or like my voice, or don't like who I am, or don't care for this, or don't care for that. I accept that. But I am trying my best to be clear on how I come up with my terminology. But I don't really want to make videos like this. Because you know, I'm going to make mistakes. And if I make a mistake, just tell me and I'll correct it. You don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be a jerk about it. I listen to those too. And I listen to feedback. And I know I can spot toxicity a mile away. So I know who to listen to and who not to listen to. In other words, I got this. Besides, do you think anyone's going to watch my channel? Seriously? I just had to protect my channel in case I went in fame mode. So, I mean, I am trying to be the best human being I can be without trying to not offend people at all. Because offending people, that's easy for me to do because I have no social skills. But being loved, that's challenging for me. So, because I'm comfortable with who I am. What can I say? So, there's my explanation. See how well thought it out? I think these things out before I say them. I spend a lot of time working on these videos, thinking. And, alright? There's a little hidden of the juices.